How you doing, YouTube? This is AUAG Prepper coming at you with another video. Um, what I'm going to be talking about on today's video is not only just the coins that I purchased today, but also the month of August. I believe the month of August is going to be a very interesting month. I believe it's going to be a month of change. I think we're going to go through some major silver unrest. I believe we're going to have a major market crash, and I believe we're going to have wars breaking out on that month. And the reason why I believe this is because of the subliminal messages that the powers that be are showing us. And also, we'll be talking about different subjects that tie in, that point to the month of August as well. And these subjects are basically from astronomy, economics, history, and so forth, and even biblical prophecies. Now, before we get started, in this video, I'm just gonna give you a small example, and in later videos, I'll give in more great and detailed examples. Now, before we get started, let me go ahead and show you these coins. I purchased these coins for about $18. $2 over spot, or to $1.50, right around there, give or take. The Silver Eagles, I purchased them for about $18.50. These I bought about $18. Same thing I got for Libertad for about 18, and Prospector for about 18 as well. In 1980, the Mexican government made these sterling silver pesos. Now, what's interesting about this coin is that they made them over 31.1. They made them 33.625. And the reason for that is because they wanted to make it a full troy ounce of silver, which is very interesting because, it's sterling. Sterling is not, basically, for those who don't know, is 0.925. So it has about 7.5 of copper. Now, the Silver Prospector is a very interesting character in both American history and other histories with other nations. Now, the Prospector. Now, this before I start, this is a Silver Prospector from Englehart, very gorgeous coin. But the Prospector in general, back in the mid 1800s during the California Gold Rush, a lot of individuals became prospectors to look for gold, um, which is um, which is important because the prospectors is also shown in some subliminal messages from Power at B into in today's term, especially on the Economics magazine cover. They have a prospector on there as well. So let's go ahead and get started on a small example of why I believe the month of August is going to be it. And then in later videos, I'm going to go into more greater detail. I believe during the month of August, we're going to have severe market crash and so forth. And it's most likely going to start during the time of the first crescent moon of August, during August 5th to August 9th, I believe the chaos could start. On the AV month, which is the Jewish count on the Jewish calendar, which is the fifth month of Jewish calendar, that would be roughly AV4 on the fifth on our fifth day, and AV8th on our ninth day. And let me go ahead and show you real quick. So these are the moon phases. I don't know if I have everything in there. But we have a new moon, which is also considered a transitionary new moon, which is basically a new moon is basically between 2 months that occur. This phenomenon usually occurs a little bit over a year, about 14 to 15 months, give or take, and it's happening between July and August. And interesting to know, we had a solar eclipse on July 2nd. I don't want to go into too much detail, but in future videos, I'm going to go into more greater detail. Which basically ties into all this as well. And AV on the Jewish calendar starts on the 2nd and it ends on the 30th, or 31st, I should say. And it ends perfectly on our Jugarian month. And for a Jewish month to land perfectly on Jugarian month, is basically, it takes 8 years, give or take, for that to occur, which is also a rare phenomenon. A transitionary month that lands between July and August, only these months, usually takes about 8 to 9 years, give or take. So just adding those two alone, you're talking about decades and decades for an event for the Jewish month to land perfectly on the month of August, and a transitionary month to land on the month of August perfectly as well. All right, so we're going to talk about IPEC GOAT in future videos and how this all ties in. We're also going to talk about the new, where is it at? The new video that came out, which is, well, it came out about April, but roughly still new, 2019. It's a movie called Old Town Road, from the song Old Town Road. It's made by Billy Ray Cyrus and by Little Nas. And why this all ties into everything as well. This is a huge subliminal message by the powers that be, pointing to this year. We're also going to be talking about the Economics magazine cover, why this all ties in as well. And you have the gold prospectors. I'll come up close. The gold prospector right here. You have the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. You also have the Mona Lisa, which also ties into why I believe the month of August is going to be it. This year was a very high subliminal message year that the powers that be gave us. So, also, a lot of these wordings, originally the Economics magazine cover was shown like this, and the wording, I don't know if you can see, is backwards. So in order to really read it out, you have to flip it, and when you flip it, it comes out like this. And that, again, we're going to go in greater detail. I don't want to talk too much about this now because I don't want to make this video too long. We already talked about the Silver Prospector, and you can see him again, right there. And he's on the Economics magazine cover. You can see, let me see, hold on. The month of AV, which we already talked about, which is the 5th month on the civil year, and also the 11th month on the ecclesiastical year. And 11 in origin means chaos. That's what that month means. Just to give you a brief summary of the AV month, let me go ahead and read it a little bit. The name is Babylonian in origin, and hold on, sorry. Oh, okay. So the AV month, the name is Babylonian in origin and appeared in the Talmud around the 3rd century. This is the only month which is not named in the Bible. It is a summer month of 30 days. AV usually occurs in July through August on the Jugarean calendar. The Babylonian Talmud, Tenet 29, states that when we enter the month of AV, our joy is diminished. This is because the darkest events in Jewish history occurred during the first week and a half of this month, particularly the 9th days, which accumulated in Tisha B'Av. So the month of AV had a lot of events that took place with the Jewish people, usually negative. Also, the interesting note is that when the nuclear bombs were dropped in World War II, on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, it landed during August 6th to August 9th. August 6th was basically 27th of AV, and August 9th was basically AV 30. So it's not really, it's not a coincidence how that all added up. And that's just a small example. And again, we're going to go in greater details later. I just don't want to make this video too long. We're also going to go into detail with the Feast of Transfiguration, which is a Roman Catholic Church festival. It has to do with Jesus Christ as well. But the way they view it is completely different from how a Christian views it. And the Catholic Church in general, they have their own secret society called the Jesuit Order. And I'll go into details about that later in future videos as well, and how it all ties in. And this is the month of August as well. So they see the month of August as a transformation month, or a transitional month, as you may see it. The same thing with the month of AV. The month of AV is basically a form of transition from good times to basically bad times. So very, very unique. See what we have here next. Now we're also going to be talking about the Mona Lisa and why it's important. Even when you flip the Mona Lisa upside down, you have images like a lion. You have basically a numbering system like 2, 7, and even the letter Z. See if I could find it here. Let's see. Anyway, we're going to go into detail with the Mona Lisa why this is very important, because the Mona Lisa is depicted on 2019 Economics magazine cover, which ties into everything as well. See, we're almost done, and we're also going to be talking about the Phoenix and why the Phoenix is basically, the powers that be worship this creature, and why it all ties in as well. And that's about it. So we're gonna go ahead and later in the future events, I'm going to go ahead and go into greater details with why I believe the month of August is going to be it. But basically, to tie it all together, I believe early August we're going to run into some great, the start of chaos, I guess you could say. All right, have a good day.